I am Camille Gerald. Welcome back to Rubies of Wisdom channel. I'm here on this new topic on living your truth. What does living your truth means to you? What is your ideal of living your truth? Let's be honest. Be honest with yourself. I will tell you what's my idea of living my truth, which is accepting myself, not having a care of what people think or say about me because it's none of my business. Doing things freely, what makes me happy, what makes me be at peace, and just being myself. You could just feel the energy of just being yourself, loving yourself is so much more. That is my idea of living my truth. And guess what? I am living my truth. I don't care what anybody say or think of me. I am so in tune with myself. I love myself. I nourish myself. I speak kindly to myself because I treat myself as a flower because I want to continue to bloom, bring forth wisdom, bring forth love. As you can see, love is radiating all over me because my energy is love. So, as we touch on this topic, living your truth, hmm, many of y'all may have been experiencing people pleasing, doing things to please someone without hurting their feelings. And that usually requires you to sacrifice yourself and your suffering while they are living their life, being happy. The fact that you have done this and that for them, but you, on the other hand, is suffering and you feel to bleed it. Like, oh my goodness, have you ever felt that you have given so much of yourself that you end up betraying yourself? And that's not a good feeling at all. Because right here, it is not a good feeling at all. And I'm here to say that let that go. Drop them. Leave those people at where they had you messed up at. Start setting up boundaries. Be honest with yourself. Take a look at yourself in the mirror and speak kindly to yourself. And sometimes you may need to be alone. And it's okay to be alone because when you're alone, you got to have that conversation with yourself, a dialogue with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself because you know we came in this world alone and we're going to leave this world alone. So you better learn how to have you. Stop expecting you out of so many people because them same people don't have a big heart as you. Have that heart for yourself. Everything that you be doing for everybody else, do that for yourself. You come first, and that is not selfish at all. It is not a selfish act at all because you have to take care of you. Nobody's not going to have your back without you having your own back. That's just law. That's just life. But anyhow, when you get to that point of acknowledging yourself, being honest with yourself, being truthful, and loving yourself, going through the many different layers of yourself, I want you to keep in mind that it's not an easy journey, but it's well worth it. And when you're living your truth, you feel so free. You'll be at ease. You'll be so peaceful. It's like you can finally breathe. And you have to keep in mind when you're living your truth, you is also going into thriving mode. When you're not living your truth, you're in survival mode, which is you're constantly surviving. You're constantly trying to please people. You're constantly trying to take care of everything. You're constantly feeling like you have all these obligations. Guess what? Throw them obligations away. And you will see that those obligations really doesn't mean a thing, okay? The only obligation you have is to yourself. Repeat that after me. The only obligation I have is to myself. To myself. Because I put myself first. So you have to speak positive to yourself because that is the only way you be able to bring forth life within yourself. And when you bring life within yourself, you start to glow. You start to feel good. Your skin change. It's like your energy is just so amazing. And people is going to be attracted to that. And they going to wonder how you get that energy. And they want some of that energy. So this is where you have to set boundaries. And I'm going to tell you, when you set boundaries, there's a lot of people who's not going to like that. And that's okay. That's okay. If they decide to leave your life, walk out your life, guess what? Let them. Let them walk out. Some people that we think they are supposed to ride this lifetime with us, no. They was only meant to ride just for a chapter. Okay? And again, we have to stop expecting so much from people. The only expectation we should be held is from within ourselves, just as well as the only competition we should be in is within ourselves. The old me versus the new me. You want to be better than the old self. You want to keep evaluating. You want to keep elevating. Okay? Elevate, 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 because elevation is the thing. Okay? When I tell you, you feel so great. And sometimes it's hard to explain because it's a feeling that you have to go through the process to get there. You have to go through the journey to get there. And you can't take anybody with you. This is your own journey, okay? No journey is the same. And you have to keep that in mind. And when you live in your truth, you're going to rattle a lot of cages. But don't lower your standards. Don't lower yourself for someone to make them feel comfortable because they're uncomfortable with you living your truth. Oh, well. You only making room for those who will respect your boundaries, who will respect your truth, who will accept you for who you are. Get rid of those people who don't serve a purpose in your life. Now, I'm not saying that if they didn't serve a purpose in your life, it's only a little purpose that they serve, which is to teach you when you look at your surroundings, like, okay, this is where I want to be. No, this is not where I want to be. Because, if you're constantly in a negative circle, guess what? You will be thinking negative. But if you're in a positive circle, you around people who speak positive, who change their vocabularies, guess what? You're going to be speaking positive to yourself and to others, okay? And you change your vocabularies as well. And the one vocabulary that changed my life is get. G-E-T, get. We always say, oh, I got to go to work. I got to go pick up this stuff from the store. I got to take the kids to school. I got to get my car fixed. It's always got. And don't you realize I add a lot of stress to that? Now, take out got. Replace it with get. I get to take my children to school. I get to drive my car. I get to go shopping. Or I get to get my hair done. I get to do whatever it is that I want to do. I get to do it. Get is showing appreciation for life. You're grateful. It's a game changer, I tell you. And the more you're appreciative of life, the more the universe higher power blesses you with to be more grateful for. And I say this to say, be grateful. Be thankful for all that you have and enjoy life, because there are some people who didn't wake up, but you still have another day. When you start thinking negative, name 5 things that you are grateful for life, and you will see that your negative thoughts will be changed into a positive thought, okay? And the same thing for us when you're living your truth. Because there may be some days where you feel like you need to retreat back to your old self. No, don't go there. Because you have to use your old self as a reminder that nothing changed. There was no progress unless you had to make some changes to get to your new self. As well as you have to look at your past only as a lesson playbook. When I say a lesson playbook, that means you look at your past to see what is it that you learned so that you don't make the same mistakes in your present life going into your future, because everything that you do now is what would be determining your future. Okay? So, make your choices now based on what is right, based on your truth. Not anybody else's truth, but your truth. Don't care what anybody else say. Whatever they say and think in their mind, that's them. Because you got to understand, that's their reality. It has nothing to do with you, okay? All you did was just living in your truth. And it just caused some earthquakes in their fairy tale lives. Okay. Be okay with that. Because you live in your truth. Some people can't handle living in their truth because it's too much to bear. It's too much of an exposure for them. This is not for the weak, because living your truth calls for breaking your generational trauma and curses. I'm telling you, it is not for the weak. You have to stand strong. You have to still want to keep pushing forward. When your friends, family, and so forth disown you, say they don't want to have nothing to do with you, that's okay. Because the true test of loyalty occurs when an uncomfortable situation exposes the truth. Don't let that upset you. Use that moment to promote your growth, okay? And most importantly, learn to master your emotion. It is the most powerful life skill to have, because everything does not require a reaction. When you're solitude, when you use your discernment, nothing what people do cannot affect you. You have that much power that you would consider a dangerous person. But go ahead, live your truth. Nothing won't affect you, okay? I'm living my truth. I'm growing. I'm being accepting of myself. But I'm sharing this wisdom with you because I want you to be able to live your truth. You're not alone. There are a lot of people who are afraid to live their truth, but they just need that push for them to step outside of their comfort zone to live their truth. You got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It was hard for me, but I'll tell you, I stepped on the other side of fear. The best decision I ever made in my life. Yes, It rattled some cages. But that's okay because nobody can take advantage of me anymore. Nobody can manipulate me anymore. Nobody can tell me whatever it is they want to feed into my ears or whatsoever, expecting me to just give it all. No. The only thing I'm willing to give is rubies of wisdom. And that is to help you on your journey going forth in life. Because I'm an alchemist, I'm a healer, and that's what I do. Share information, meaning get information. Get in tune with your life. Now I'm closing in. Living in your truth. Think about that. Take that next step. Live in your truth. Be honest with yourself. I know you're tired of wearing that mask. It's exhausting. It's exhausting living two or triple lives. It's exhausting. Let all that go. Be free. Be happy. Love yourself. And you will see that it was the best decision you ever made. Again, I am Camille Gero, sharing Rubies of Wisdom on this YouTube channel. You have a good day.